Fully cooperating here in Pittsburgh, but that has not stopped Steeler Nation from filling the stands at a rain-soaked Acrisure Stadium.
Two teams that have combined to win 11 Super Bowl titles. The Steelers and the Niners are underway.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Play action, and now here's Purdy to throw it.
Buying time to his left.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
First carry of the game for Christian McCaffrey.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Another run, this time McCaffrey. Alex Highsmith there on the tackle. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. 2 yards on the pickup there. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Now Purdy. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here's Rudolph. Completes it to Austin. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and a couple.
Rudolph looking to throw it.
To the right side and complete to Metcalf.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Third down and 1. Warren will try the right side.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
And Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Rudolph looking to throw.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
Kyle Shanahan doesn't care much for that last call, so out comes the red challenge flag. Winds up a very good call there defensively to challenge that one, as that now will wind up an incomplete pass.
From the gun on third down, it's Rudolph.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Solid way to start the drive, 13 yards, picking up the first. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early, but they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing here, Purdy.
And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. It's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Over the middle, complete. That's Jennings. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 4th down.
Here's Mitch Wishnowski now.
Now Austin. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now a play fake, and it's Rudolph.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball.
That's caught inside the 20. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 61 yards.
But I think it's about time I took my eyes off of the secondary or the guys with the football. How about the offensive line on that snap? They took care of business.
Absolutely, and when he can stay in the pocket like that, you're going to get big plays like we just saw. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Running left, it's Warren.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 5 yards there, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
On the give, it's Warren.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
When trying to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum? You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers. The running game fully in sync, 1-11 on that play.
And sometimes it comes from the offensive coordinator, understanding what he thinks the defense is going to do and dialing up the perfect play. Sometimes the quarterback, though, can look at the defense, realize he needs to change it to a run, and that gets it done in a big way as well.
He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
This is 2nd and 8. Now this time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy.
Flushed out, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
There's your co-NFL record holder, T.J. Watt, doing what he does best, terrorizing quarterbacks.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Purdy looking to throw. That's complete to Pearsall. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Here's Austin. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and are controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
This one finds Austin outright.
7 yards there and a 1st down. The clock running here, under a minute to go now in the first quarter of a 3-0 game. Back to throw, Rudolph. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I love those corners who can not only cover, but don't mind getting a little physical as well. How about the coverage on that play, knocking that pass away?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rudolph. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They toss it to Warren.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football as they've got it with a 4th down coming up. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
First play of the drive, excellent run, just sets up wash, rinse, repeat. Another first down.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Purdy now to throw. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
A handoff for Warren.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
2nd and 5. On the run, it's Warren.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
This is going to sound a little strange, but that was a really nice effort because he broke a tackle and almost sprang free, but it still ended up with a loss of yardage. The defense won that battle.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I thought that was a completed pass until he came in and forced the ball from his hands. Not only did he make a nice play, he brings up 4th down.
Now Chris Boswell for the Steelers field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Boswell's kick is good, and they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. They'll motion the tight end across the formation.
Shotgun now with Purdy. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that on the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Here's Mitch Wishnowski now on to punt.
That's taken on the 25. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Now it's Rudolph. He finds Austin complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Here's Warren.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. George Pickens, his intended receiver there.
And it's 3rd down. Now Rudolph. He'll let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go over the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest. What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle.
Purdy going to give it to Garendo.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring them down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. Call that a 44-yard punt, 5 on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. Rudolph now to throw. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 2.
Play action, it's Rudolph.
Got an open man, it's Pickens.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
They'll run it. Warren.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Temporarily out of field goal range now as they come up on a 2nd and long after the holding call. Rudolph going to throw again. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and a mile. Here's Rudolph. He wants it all for the end zone. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers.
George Pickens.
49 yards as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack in the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Here's Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 32 on the play. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Back to throw, Purdy.
The first catch of the game for George Kittle.
Now a 2nd and 2. Now Purdy. He'll get this underneath to McCaffrey.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line. A nice pickup there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
And this offense has been a little slow to get going, but some signs of life here in this second quarter. They're moving it pretty good, and that helps the cause as well. Good yardage and another first down.
Purdy sets up to throw again.
This pass to Jennings, and he makes the catch. And down inside the 15 he goes. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Boy, everything clicking on this drive. He's 4 for 4 now, and that throw, maybe the best of the bunch. This offense is really humming, and they pick up another first down.
Purdy.
Looking middle, and that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple. Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Steps away to his left. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Brock Purdy
Taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the 49ers have cut it back within a score.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
Moody good with the extra point.
And it's now 13-7.
So following the touchdown, here's Moody back out to send it away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on third down. One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout. And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Here's Cameron Johnston now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for. No gimme in these conditions, but he's able to look this one in. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Out of the gun, Purdy.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. The 49ers getting set to trot out there.
And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Throwing here, Purdy.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Final play of the half, Purdy.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. A final shot before break. Purdy. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Now a run with Warren.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Rudolph looking to throw it.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the third downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the third quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 3.
They'll keep it on the ground. Warren. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Rudolph looking to throw.
That's caught. It's Austin left side.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Up the middle they go. It's Warren, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Overall, I'd have to say that was just really good team defense, because to me, you can't pin that one on the running back. He had no shot there. He had a man in his face immediately.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now a handoff up the middle. Warren. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a give right side. It's Warren. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Rudolph. And that is incomplete.
And so many times we look at the opening drive of the third quarter as a tone setter, and many coaches do emphasize it. And that's a strong performance there defensively to force incompletion and, more importantly, force a quick punting situation.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18.
Purdy looking to throw.
Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so you can only go so far outside, and they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak. And this will be incomplete.
At this point in the second half, one mistake on a forced throw could doom your chances of a comeback, so that's the right call there to just throw that one away.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey, and they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively, and the key to any screenplay is space to work, and there was none to be found there, and they tackle him for just a short gain.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, standing just outside his own goal line. Take it at the 37. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Here's a 2nd and 8.
Back to throw, Rudolph. He'll find Metcalf. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 30. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll fake the handoff. Now Rudolph completes it to Austin. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Rudolph. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 14. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets him down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door.
I know at times today's NFL sure feels like everything's about the guy throwing the football. But when you've got a guy who can run it and move it and gain this type of yardage, you'll take him each and every time.
Now Rudolph. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area, and he just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? Warren. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up to the challenge here because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. And around the goal line, especially on 2-point tries, sometimes the QB's best friend is that big target, the tight end.
I love how you described it because you know he's going to have some length and some catch radius as well as a big body to keep people away from the football.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. From the 43, here's 2nd down and 2. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive continues.
Well, you can absolutely feel the thought process there. They just gave up the touchdown. So in the huddle, they're telling each other, you don't want to give it back now on a 3 and out. Nice job of making sure that they wouldn't, and they pick up the 1st down.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold them to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
2nd down and 8. Purdy now to throw. He'll get this out wide here to McCaffrey. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. They'll give him 4 yards there. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3. Here's Purdy. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. The drive stays intact with a pickup of 13. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Back to the ground attack here. It's McCaffrey. And a short gain down to about the 33. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's 49er football, but some ground to cover. They find themselves behind as we hit the 4th and final quarter. Back to throw, Purdy. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now. Now Purdy. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 19. Give them 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back.
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now, a quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a give, right side McCaffrey. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches have given, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also tackles ball carriers.
And his kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
Well, no field goal attempts for him until the final quarter, but no hesitation on his end. He comes right out and nails his first field goal try.
And give him a lot of credit, too, because he stood there the entire ball game, but has managed to stay with it both mentally and physically. When they called on him, he was ready, and he knocked it through the posts.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Here's Rudolph. A short one there to Freiermuth.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defense.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there.
That is Nick Bosa from out on the edge who worked his way in for the sack. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Back to the ground on 1st. It's McCaffrey. And he's got room. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 85 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. Ball on the 27. Here's 2nd down and 3. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. A handoff, McCaffrey running right. And he is going to lose yardage here. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
That was a good illustration of setting the edge as a defensive end, being able to make sure that you stay on your feet no matter what type of block, and you're not going to get pushed inside. Stayed home, skated to the outside, and made the play.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. That is caught. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 15-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. First down marker at the 5. It's 2nd and goal. McCaffrey running up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. CD, put on your OC cap here. What do you do? 2nd and 1, you get stuffed. Now 3rd and 1.
You know, in the old days, I would have said we're going to line up and we're going to run the same darn play and we're going to get it right. But nowadays, as tough as defenses are, I want some mobility. I want some movement, putting the ball in the hands of my quarterback and giving him a run-pass option.
Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. So Purdy off and Moody on for the 49er field goal. This is an easy one, 20. And this one is right through. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1, and I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30, up to the 33. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. I'm sure that that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now run straight ahead with Warren. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they... It's caught inside the 25. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 48 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
On 1st down, Warren. And able to work his way down to the 16. 74 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And the Steelers are going to have a 1st and goal as he's inside the 10 down to the 7-yard line.
But they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another 1st down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score and this game's over.
Every yard they gain getting them better and better field position, and obviously a field goal makes this a 2-score contest. That's really all they need.
And that means for your play caller, he's not looking to the attack portion of his sheet, right? He's looking for, okay, what do we have that's going to keep us in a good spot? No lost yardage plays. Let's kick a field goal and go up 2 scores. If we score a touchdown, great, but that's not what you're really playing for.
Warren will score. Touchdown, Steelers.
And that right there is a definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. To throw is Purdy. A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
The nice thing is that you've still got all your timeouts, so the middle of the field, that should still be an option, especially if you see the defenders pinching the sideline. You can run a little seam route right here and pick up some nice yardage.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, This is NFL football at its best. Here's third down. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Here we go. This is fourth down. Throwing, Purdy.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
A handoff for Warren.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Second and 6 with the ball on the 7. On the give, it's Warren.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
On the run, it's Warren.
And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A 3-yard loss. Fourth down now. That last play, though, not indicative of the night he's had running the football.
No, you're exactly right about that, because all through this evening, it's been their night, hasn't it? One play here, they get it against them. I wouldn't worry about that very much at all. Just continue to do what they've been doing.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will extend their lead even further. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my brother.